So I started photographing with this camera and taking pictures of trains. Not rock and roll bands, but trains. I'm Brian Cannon, this is Microdot, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Microdot Kodak 1976 t-shirt, which is based on the first camera that I ever had. There it is, still got it. Given to me by my mother in 1976 when I was 10. Thus the name of the shirt, Kodak 1976. So yeah, this was given to me in 1976 by my mother. Now I often talk about how much my father influenced my career, and my mother doesn't get enough mention in this because I love my mother very, very much indeed, and she was a massive influence on me. I can't thank her enough for everything she did, because my mum's influence upon me wasn't specific like my father's in terms of he encouraged me to draw. But with my mother, it was just support for everything that I did. And when it finally came to fruition in the end and I was working with Oasis, her and my dad, they were both made up, and like my father, my mother appears on 3 Oasis sleeves, so she was over the moon. Some might say, do you know what I mean? And the master plan. So in 1976, I first started taking photographs with this very camera. And the first things that I photographed weren't bands or music, because that only came later. It's sort of 1977 I discovered punk. But in 1976, I used to travel around the country photographing railway engines. Yes. And here are some pictures of some locomotives that I took pictures of back in the day. And whilst the quality isn't all that, because, it's an old little camera like this, I think the composition's actually quite well formed, considering it's by a 10, 11-year-old who knew nothing about photography. And another thing I find interesting as well is, if you think about it back then, it's not like these days where if you've got a phone, you can take pictures of everything, and everybody's taking pictures of everything. Back then, to take pictures, you had to buy film, right? And then have the film processed and developed. So as a kid, I was more interested in spending my money on buying film and processing than whatever else other 10-year-olds would be doing in 1976. So I think that's quite interesting. And that just sort of began the story of how my mother supported me. She just encouraged me to do things that made me happy. That was the bottom line, She just wanted me to be happy. And at the beginning of my career, when things weren't going so well, she still stuck by me, and I owe her, an eternal debt. She's no longer with us, unfortunately, God rest her soul. But she meant the world to me, and it's kind of her support that drove me on to get to where I got in the end. So to the shirt itself, like the first one in the edition and all the following ones, they all come in this highly branded Microdot package. This Microdot frosted bag with the new branding on it. And talking of new, we are currently in the new Microdot studio. As you can see, it's a different background to what I've had in previous videos. I'll give a full tour of that in later videos, but it's a fantastic spot. This is a real creative atmosphere and a really good vibe to it, and we all love it here. Anyway, back to the t-shirt. As with the previous editions, every one comes with this, again, Microdot branded swing tag, which Jill lovingly knotted and tied in each one herself, personally by hand. Microdot branded neck tag, and the shirt itself, beautiful quality t-shirt, screen printed by hand in Manchester, and that's basically it. 50 of them out on the 26th of February, Wednesday evening, 7 p.m, so all our American and overseas friends can get involved as well. Shipping worldwide, edition of 50. Good luck.